Brought to you by Epic Adventure Outfitters.
Welcome back. This has been a long time coming. I got these shocks months ago. Now you're saying you already have shocks on that vehicle, you still haven't taken off-road. Well, turns out converting Jeeps to crazy hot rods with a lot of horsepower takes up a lot of your time and you don't get to go anywhere. But these are the original shocks I ordered for the Jeep. The Jeep is currently running temporary Falcon 3.3s. I wanted to give these a shot. Here we have a 3.5 E-Adapt shock. You notice that because it's got this fancy electric cable. They're supposed to have electric cables on shocks. This is going to be interesting. Basically, we're going to plug this into a computer. We're going to have a switch inside the car, and we're going to be able to change from soft to firm to auto adapting on the fly, depending how we're feeling. Like if all of a sudden you picked up a really nice beverage from your favorite coffee place and you come up to a bumpy road and it's like, oh no, I'm going to spill this. You can quickly switch to soft and possibly save the whole day. Look how long that is. This is for the rear of the JL. So this will work really well with our long arm system. I mean, it goes. Beautiful. One day, when this Jeep actually hits dirt, it should be spectacular. So we thought we were done. We were all packed up, driving home all the way until we realized these shocks came with a second box.
Box number 2.
Turns out you have to wire electronic shocks to something to make them do something. Something should be in here to do that.
It's a very technical description.
Yeah, that's my that's my MIT background. Doesn't look like a shock. Oh, here we go. Wires.
There's instructions.
12-page instructions. Ooh, more wires.
More wires.
A computer of some kind.
Does that computer have artificial intelligence in it?
This is where ChatGPT started. Right inside the E-Adapt module. Now it's going to take over the world.
Excellent.
Oh, there we go. We got a switch.
We got a switch.
And we got some screws. Where does this go? If I have to read these instructions, I'm going to be disappointed. All these harnesses are required to make this system work. And if you look at them, they are a very well-made harness. Like, they are by a professional harness company, 100%. They are labeled, look at this, key on power.
Nice.
Like, that's amazing. Where's the other one? Battery. I can actually read that. I didn't have to go get my glasses. All of this plugs into one of the ports of this thing. Oh, good, they're the same. Luckily, it says power, and it's listed on their power. So it's so close to idiot-proof. You clean out your vehicle, you unbolt your seat, you lean it back. I'll show you the placement of this module right now. It will go basically right there under the seat. It'll go through the seat bolts, similar to how the Kraken mounts on the other side. These are gonna come up through a drain plug hole underneath there through the floor, which we'll cut, seal, and make sure that no water can come back up through. And apparently we're going to wire them to the vehicle behind us. Holy cow. All joking aside, much like the other harness, these are fully labeled. So this somehow makes it to the left rear shock. And the left front shock. And at least the other two shocks. So you can see here, I didn't drill that hole in the floor. That was just one of the many drain holes in this vehicle. I don't plan to use it as a submarine at this point in time. Things may change in the future. But I'm gonna put the rubber grommet back in, I'm gonna make sure the wire passes through, and I'm gonna seal it properly so that water doesn't go in this way. Because despite everyone's like, well, the water's gonna come up through there. Water will come up through there with the plug in.
Yeah, true.
So trust me, you stay in a water crossing long enough, or if the water's rushing pretty hard in the water crossing, and you buried yourself in a mud puddle, lift up your carpet, it's under there. And it will grow mold, so check it before that happens. Nobody wants to get into a stank car. So we have it coming out from underneath the driver's seat. We're gonna seal it when we get back to the top of the vehicle, but it's being run both directions. It's all secured using P-clips and minimal zip ties all the way to the back. avoiding all the... It's apparently windy here. Stuff's leaving. So, yeah, the cables are all run to the back. They're all secured up out of the way. The exhaust, they're all attached. They're all secured. Excess cable, like there's no way it's going anywhere. And just for extra measure, we have wrapped the cable that's on the shock with protective tape so it can handle a little more abrasion if it happens. So happens. This is the wire for the right front shock. They gave me so much, I figured why not avoid the engine by going up and over instead of whoever else way. So I'm gonna go up and over. I'm gonna follow our normal line with P-clips. I'll go down to it, and that'll be done for the wiring on the exterior of the car, and then we can just finish up the wiring on the inside and be done with it. I guess we're gonna have to do something with this now. Done. So this is gonna be the wiring for the inside of the car, and you can do it a bunch of different ways. So there's gonna be one of the wires is going to be for the switch that's going up in the grab handle. One of the wires is going to go to key on, power, and ground. One is gonna go to battery, power, and ground. So you could either go outside the vehicle and run it to the battery, jump in the fuse box, all that. You could tap into an ignition power underneath the dash, which I don't want to do either. But since we always order our Jeeps with the aux switch package, on the inside you get 6 wires, on the outside you get 4. Well, those other 2 wires, one of them is power or battery power, the other one is ignition.
Oh, great.
So cool. We're gonna wire all this to that. We're not even gonna leave the inside of the car. Everything's gonna be neat and tidy like it never existed. All right, we've done all our wiring. It is all hidden in the carpet, out of the way of harm's way, secured, so nobody can accidentally step on it repeatedly or rip it out. So,
What's that piece right by your hand you're touching?
this
right
piece?
Yes.
This is a part of the award-winning system, the Kraken. Some crazy Canadians came up with it after using a bunch of other versions on the market that just didn't meet the needs they had. And so far it's doing well, and I think they retired in Bora Bora. Firm. See how it didn't break, Dive?
Yeah, you're right.
So now I got this really cool little new button here. So like I said, if you're carrying your coffee and you don't want to spill it, we've got the soft setting. If you get really mad at someone in traffic and you want to do some evasive maneuvers, we've got the firm setting. And then, if you don't know what the hell's going on, just put it on auto, leave it alone.
Cool. So what it's actually doing is it's changing the...
It's changing the firmness based on the G-forces front, back, side to side that has been calibrated, as well as the setting you have on the shocks for the firmness. So to the best of my knowledge, whatever I set the shock to is as firm as it goes.
Right.
Soft is full soft, and then auto does everything in between soft and the firmest we let it go.
Cool.
Don't quote me on that. I didn't read the instructions. Since we've had this vehicle a while, and we're finally getting around having time to work on it, and I'm having a lot of trouble in old age seeing where I'm going in Costco,
You are old, yeah.
we've decided to put lights on it. Now, normally in the last several years, the lights we swore by were always Rigid Industries lights. We decided this time, let's give another company a try. So we went with the only other USA manufactured company we could think of, and that is Baja Designs. The reason what really got us down the Baja Designs route is because the rear bumper from Next Venture Motorsports is designed to fit Baja S2 flush mount lights. So we already have the holes to perfectly fit this, which means we don't have to modify the bumper. So we have a pair of S2 diffused backup lights to go in there. And then we thought, well, everyone loves those LP lights from Baja Designs, so we got a couple LP6s in the Pro, so it's got all the bells and whistles that we got to figure out how to make them work. We're probably going to mount these somewhere on the bumper. And then just to match, we went with an enormous LP4 as our pillar light. That's the biggest pillar light I've ever ran, and that's going to go somewhere up here. And of course, because we're in Canada, we ordered all the covers so we wouldn't get in trouble for having lights that look cool. And all the wiring harnesses that are required to hook it all up. Like I'm wiring a spaceship or something.
God, that's bright.
That's not even the LP6.
That's just the 4.
That's just the 4. Well,
Let's go do some night wheeling after this.
that's what we're gonna do. They supply you a harness that you can connect to your friend's vehicle so you don't have to use up your battery.
Cool.
You just have to drive fairly close by. We're not going to use much of this harness because though these are the LP6 Pros and those are the LP4 Pros, we only want a couple of the functions. So I don't need a low beam and a high beam. If I'm going to turn lights on, I want all the lights on.
Cool.
So we are going to run the amber backlight for running light. And we aren't going to bother with the amber backlight of the LP4 Pros because it doesn't shine through the cover and the covers will be on most of the time when we're on the road. Right. So I'm not going to worry about those. So that'll just be a bright ass light. This will be a crazy as bright ass light. And we'll use a third of this. So instead of using that massive harness that they were nice enough to make, we're lucky enough that we almost always order a Jeep with the aux switches. So we have enough relays and fuses to power what we need to power on this light. So if you ever order a Jeep, always get aux switches. Always.
Makes things so much simpler.
So much simpler.
Are you making a bomb?
I'm wiring up a bomb. The secret to wiring is take your time, be clean, and make it look like it came there. It was meant to be there. So this is basically kind of how it comes after you pick it up from Jeep. This is my jail. We're going to use this on the Rubicon Trail and many other trails when we have time. We've changed a few things on it a couple times with for a few different sets of wheels. Currently, what it is a 4.5 lift with all the bells and whistles TerraFlex makes. We have the long arm conversion. We have the Falcon 3.5 E-Adapt shocks. We've got the steering upgrades, the Flip Nexus 2.2. We've got Method race wheels with the bead grip on both sides, wrapped in my favorite tire, the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss AT. Snowflake rated for Canada. So we have also got Baja lights wrapped all the way around this thing. We've got some nice LP6s on the bumper. We've got LP4s on the pillars. We've got some nice S2 flush mounts on the back bumper. All the bumpers are aluminum. They're from Next Venture Motorsports. We slammed the Warren winch in there because we don't use anything but Warren here. We like to actually get recovered if we have to. Not only did we do the bumpers from Next Venture Motorsports, we also did the diff covers, the rear diff slider, and the full aluminum skid plate underneath, all wrapped in that nice cutting board material so we can make our chef cut chicken upside down. How many of you can say that? That's kind of cool.
Looking for an epic Jeep? Give us a call.